There was an era in YouTube history where it was just filthy. With the type of content that was being uploaded, it seemed like YouTube's policies and rules were thrown out the window, so to speak. But among the heap of trash stood one of the filthiest channels. The most well-known YouTuber of the era was Filthy Frank. From about 2008 to 2017, I watched and grew up with Filthy Frank, aka Joji, aka George Miller. I looked forward to watching his newest uploads and seeing what kind of crazy and zany new adventures George would go on with his gaggle of friends and characters. Over the years, Frank would evolve with a wide variety of videos. He would have reoccurring segments like Loser Reads Hate Comments, and fan favorite characters that would become staples of the channel like Pink Eye or the Dark Lord Chin Chin. He'd make rant videos where he would talk about specific topics, but by far my favorite were his challenge videos. The challenge videos in particular were what pushed the envelope in terms of what could be allowed on YouTube. Mostly things where people would get hurt, and I guess suggestive stuff as well. There was also a plethora of skit content, and while it was mostly shock and comedic satire humor, George had a musical side that he would share alongside Filthy Frank in the form of Pink Eye. If you were on the internet in the 2010s, you must have heard some of his music, like Ramen King, Shut the Fuck Up, and who could forget, Finna Bust a Nut. These were some of the comedy raps and ballads that he produced, but at the same time, George took his songwriting seriously. You see, there were two sides of George. There was Filthy Frank and there was Joji, the comedy side and musical side. George wanted to make a career in the music industry, but YouTube really took off with Filthy Frank, so he would work on his more serious music in the background. But why was that? Wouldn't you want your fanbase to know of your music? Surely it would help bring more attention and jumpstart your career. Well, there lies the problem. The Filthy Frank fanbase was only interested in the character. Whenever George would pull back the curtains and reveal even a fraction of seriousness or content other than Filthy Frank, he was met with overwhelming negativity. So there was a stark division in the fanbase, those who only wanted the comedy side of George, and those who supported Joji. Today, after making it big, George Miller as Joji has acquired a new fanbase that doesn't even know any of his previous presence here on YouTube, which I find very intriguing. You can see examples of the disconnect in his live shows, where he'll be singing normally but then suddenly say some crazy out of pocket shit. And to those who only know him as Joji will be confused and think this is him going crazy, but to us that were there from the beginning, it's a nice reminder of how far he has come. So with this video, I want to expose a Joji fan to Filthy Frank. Luckily I have my girlfriend to help with that, and you could say she's a bit of a Jojihead. She's never seen Filthy Frank, so I've curated a list of 5 Frank videos. Some more popular than others, but I believe will help get the idea across of what Filthy Frank was. Now what better video to start with than the one that started all for me. Rock, Paper, Scissors is one of the shorter videos on the list, so there won't be too much to say. However, I think it's a good starting point to understand what kind of videos you will get from Filthy Frank. Overall, his videos are meant to entertain and provide laughs. They're almost akin to an edgier regular show episode. I mean, the video is about having a friendly game of rock, paper, scissors that devolves into summoning a demon god to help fight against a half-naked strongman. His videos are like a car crash you can't look away from. Obviously, some jokes have not aged well, and I also have to mention some big no-no words were used. And as all big YouTubers say when getting caught with damning evidence, it was a different time back then. And that's not far from the truth in this sense. Most of Frank's audience was made up of edgy middle schoolers that say they aren't fazed with watching gore videos. That's not a flex. Get help. But how did a Jojihead respond to this video?
I thought he was just depressed on YouTube or something. I thought that was super crazy. I don't know that's what he was up to.
Crazy is not even half of what Filthy Frank was, but I didn't want to expose her to the full Frank just yet. Because we all know how bad it can get, I didn't want her to potentially go into shock. Speaking of which, I've also put these videos in order of chaotic and filth, so as we go on it'll get worse, but for now the following video is to help display Frank's range of videos he'd make on the TV Filthy Frank channel. For instance, rants such as this next video titled Weeaboos. Frank in this video rants about his hatred for weeaboos and how cringy these degenerates can be, from their lack of social cues, hygiene, and common exaggerated stereotypes, also culture appropriating. This video also has elements of his skit comedy where he would transition from ranting to performing in a mini side plot. In this case, the weeaboos have breached the Frank residence and they in turn have to face off against him. Pink Eye and Frank get ambushed by the one and only Weeaboo Jones in their Weeaboo panic room. Jones puts up a really good fight before a hero's dispatch of him with some really fat reality checks. Then, as his life flashes before his eyes, we get a little song detailing how weeaboos are lame alongside a slideshow. Apparently my girlfriend really liked this one video because
he stayed at least 6 feet away.
Oh.
This video alone encapsulates George's abilities and how layered his videos as Frank could be. He can go from entertainer to performer to songwriter all in just one video. The effort he'd put into his videos will only get better in quality. Okay, now wait, lower that raised eyebrow. I know Frank's videos are essentially all just shitposts meant to make you laugh at the stupidity of it all. But there was more to Filthy Frank and George. George has some real talent when producing his own music, and he expressed that in any chance he'd get to create a comedy rap or song for the Frank channel. And through Pink Eye. Pink Eye was George's alter ego and outlet to share his music with his divisive fanbase. They liked what Pink Eye would put out, which was mostly raps about random shit or somber satire ballads like Finna Bust a Nut. A song about getting that sweet nut that will definitely tug at your heartstrings. It was all in character for the character Pink Eye to produce these types of songs, since in the Frank videos, Pink Eye was shown to be crazy, not serious, and comedic relief, so it goes to show that his music would reflect that. And I have to add, George has the voice. I'm no music expert, but the notes George can hit are impressive to say the least. And after watching this heartwarming song, my girlfriend wasn't all too surprised with how George can be. I did send her some concert videos where Joji on stage says, "Stroke my own dick and I'm not," before subjecting her to this gauntlet. But I think with all this video watching, it got us hungry. So why not look to Frank for a nice, easy recipe? If you ever wanted to learn to cook, you came to the right place. Frank in this video teaches us about the wonders of cooking and how to whip up only the freshest ingredients to produce some excellent cuisine. In retrospect, this might have been too much of an abrupt jump in filth, but oops. Frank, throughout the beginning of the video, scours the city in search of the main meat he'll be using to prepare our meal today.
You find real gems like this, you know, this is...
So it's rats. What did you expect from the guy who has filthy in his name? Of course, this is the part of the list where the filth will be cranking up in scale, so how did my girlfriend respond?
You find real gems like this, you know, this is a real, this is take a look at its
What?
face.
Is that real?
Really yeah, it's real. Death. So we got ourselves a real good find over here.
What?
Cute little rat. You know, this is one of the cleaner ones, you know. There's
Cleaner one?
we're obviously...
This is insane. No way, another one?
You see,
What?
a lot of disgusting ones. We finally got our hands on another healthy one
No
right here.
way, are these real?
You know, it's got a little bit of a
don't worry,
bloody
he's gonna
mouth.
cook
I don't
them
know
up
he's been
like
eating.
really
Maybe
good.
he's been
What?
on some humans,
What?
you know? The fact that we got all limbs right
He's
here.
playing with his toes, bro.
The toes
Oh,
right
did he really find those on the street? Or did he put them there?
No, he found them.
good stuff here.
He just found the dead rat. What?
We got ourselves a rich...
What? There's no way he's actually finding these. No way. No way! And they're all dead? There's no way! This guy's lying.
I think she was flabbergasted, but there's no time for that because it's now cooking time.
Want to get a nice rat soup?
No! This is why you can't eat at everybody's house. Because they're serving you rats.
You know, walk away.
Oh no.
Slowly put our
The squished rat!
friend into the quesadilla.
They didn't even cook it up or anything. Oh.
You know, you gotta tenderize the meat. You know, it's like
What?
You know, and that also makes it look
Oh.
demonic, and you don't have to feel guilty about yourself. Now we can look at the quesadilla, right? A little salt on there.
He's just dead laying
Right here.
there.
So we got
No.
soup, like a little bit of a Chinese thing going, you know.
Bro,
Now
his
we-
whole kitchen is
we
contaminated.
get all Stewart
We have to
over
throw
here.
that cutting board away.
Rat quesadilla and the rich protein
Oh.
soup.
No.
So she wasn't all too excited for the cooking part, but I'm pretty sure she'll like the ending where the lucky shaman, another Filthy Frank character, gets the honor to feast upon the meal Frank has prepared.
Look, he can't wait.
Right now we got a nice creamy broth and a nice creamy
No.
stew. We got a nice,
No.
nice tortilla and a test it out, you know. Open the jar.
His reaction.
It's my mom's recipe.
What is this? That hamsters?
It's the rats. It's real. It's rats too.
Dead hamsters.
Look, dude, honestly, I don't see a problem.
But obviously you didn't find them dead. I mean, they were already dead, but they obviously placed it.
Yeah. I was like, there's no way he's fighting all these dead rats. I was like, this guy is not finding these himself.
There's just a bunch of dead rats.
Yeah, I'm like,
everywhere.
I saw his Amazon box in the back. I'm like, I wonder if they came in that.
Now we've reached the climax, the video that will surely reveal the true extent of filthiness and insanity of George's past here on YouTube. And this Joji fan will witness the human cake. I think it's best to summarize the video here and now so you as the audience get to enjoy my girlfriend's reaction uninterrupted. In the video, Frank and his team go and harass big YouTubers of the time like JonTron, Septiceye, Vsauce, and others over the internet for their various bodily fluids and hair as ingredients for their magnum opus, an end to their trilogy of cake videos. They go ahead and assemble all the ingredients and put them into a crudely made cake, and this is how my girlfriend reacted to it.
Cake 3? I haven't seen the first two.
You don't need to.
Okay. Vomit cake? What?
They threw up
Oh, what the?
all the ingredients into a pan and cooked it. I don't think I can show this part on YouTube. I'll have to censor all of this.
Ooh.
And then they cut all their hair off.
I'd prefer that instead of the vomit cake. Oh no!
They,
Oh no!
They threw up on each other.
What? Ew, he peed on his hand! Why does he have so much? Why does he... Is that real? Is that real? Ew! No! Ew! Ew, 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 ew.
He just holding it like that.
Just spin in there. Come on, just.
Ew! Why do they have so many containers?
We really appreciate. How does this
We're all gonna cook at different times.
It's been about a half an hour.
You really think they care?
So far,
Well, what if they're gonna burn? Well, the presentation was there. And it's cutting pretty well, but it looks dry as heck. Despite all the liquids they had in there. Oh,
Nope.
not with the bride. Oh, I forget why we're actually here. Oh, oh, that's insane. My eyes are watering. This is insane.
No way.
Oh, oh. And they got Harry Styles in the back. His glove is like all red from throw up. Ew. Oh.
So what would you say after that?
I'd probably throw up too.
Imagine
saw
all the
that.
smells.
Yeah, that's gonna be disgusting.
I hope this doesn't change your perspective on Joji.
I'm gonna forget this. I have like a really bad memory.
Before I subjected my girlfriend to this little journey, she was completely ignorant from this side of George. All she ever knew him as was Joji, the songwriter and artist. She only knows that his songs are very melancholic, with a side of lo-fi, and not to mention his emotional ballads. In her eyes, he gives off very soft e-boy vibes. When she explained this to me, I couldn't help but feel like we were both on two sides of the same coin. We know the person, but we have two different images of that same person. As I'm making this video, I've started to delve into Joji's discography as a way to better understand this side of him that I for so long haven't bothered to see. In doing so, it has made me into a bigger fan of George as a whole. Not to get too parasocial here, but when I watch Filthy Frank exposes himself, and George mentions he's 20 years old in college and balancing a job through all of this, I saw a little bit of myself in him. It was like growing up with an older brother and watching them go through life, and us getting to witness that. Eventually they leave in hopes of success, and after not hearing from them in a long time, they reintroduce themselves back into our lives. Look how far you've come. Today, George Miller is thriving, going on tours and finally making the music he wanted to make all those years ago, and obtaining the recognition and success he deserves. It was after years of blood, sweat, and tears, George, Frank, and Joji can all be loved. The entertainer, the performer, the artist. I hope to see you in my next hyperfixation.
I make these vlogs for just for my personal, like, it's like a journal. Like, people think I'm trying to be funny on these vlogs, but like, I'm not. Like, it really doesn't matter. Like, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, I'm not trying to like please anyone on these vlogs. Like, I appreciate the compliments, but it really doesn't, like, it's not, that's not what it's about, you know. Like, I'm not trying to blow up Joji vlogs, you know. Like, it's just like a little kind of personal thing that I'm choosing to share with you guys.